Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. First, in the news this afternoon, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila, has forwarded to the Chamber President of the aggrieved unions after protesters. NLC holds indefinite protest over anti-people policies. Former U.S. President Donald Trump charges with bid to overturn 2020 election. Details of these and other stories in a moment. First, in the news this afternoon is the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chief of Staff to the President, Bola Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila, had forwarded to the Chamber President of the Senate have not been allowed a ministerial slot. To allow Gbajabiamila to present the list, the Senate invoked its Order 12 subsection 1 to allow the former Speaker to enter the Chamber at 3:15 p.m. Before the Chief of Staff came into the chamber, a ministerial nominee, Lateef Fagbemi Kwara, was standing before the senators for screening. The Senate today entered the third day of the screening of the ministerial nominee submitted to it last week, Thursday, by President Bola Tinubu for subsequent confirmation. It would be recalled that President Tinubu had last week forwarded. Away from that, the national scene where President Bola Tinubu will today say former President Muhammadu Buhari, former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, and other members of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC at the party's net 6 p.m. Other APC bigwigs expected to be in attendance includes Vice President Kashim Shettima, APC governors, former Senate President Ahmed Lawan, and former Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and members of their National Working Committee, has stated its commitment to a new era of openness and access to information through various media channels in the country. The new Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, emphasized this while speaking with newsmen at the presidential villa. So be opening up the presidential villa in an unprecedented way to promote transparency and accountability. From the red chambers, the Senate House resumed screening of the ministerial nominees of President Bola Tinubu for the third day. Those to be screened today, which has been screened, Ali Pate and Doris Uzoka. Recall that the Senate had on Tuesday screened 9 nominees and adjourned the exercise till today. Organized labor has kicked off its protest against the anti-people policies of the President Bola Tinubu's administration in the Imo, Ondo, Edo, and Akwa Ibom. In Abuja, members of the organized labor in different paraphernalia of the unions gathered at the iconic Unity Fountain with hundreds of their members. Report says affiliated unions of the NLC and the TUC, including the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPEG, the National Union of Electricity Employees of Nigeria, NUEE, National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURWT, and the Academic Staff Union at the venue that there is nothing stopping the protest, adding that the organized labor will not shelve the protest until there is a desired response from the government. In a related development, the Senate today set up a committee to dialogue with protesting unions who broke down the National Assembly complex first gate. The protesters in their hundreds had marched from the Unity Fountain in Abuja to the NAS complex in demonstration against the anti-poor people policies of the President Bola administration. Upon their arrival at the NAS complex, the protesters bore down with the lawmakers, and upon his emergence from the meeting, said the Red Chamber had set up a three-man committee to meet with the protesters at the National Assembly. The committee was led by Senate Chief Whip Ali Ndume from Borno South Senatorial District. The Senate also resolved that it will, in the shortest possible time, meet with the NLC and TUC leadership to find an amicable resolution to the current impasse. Ndume, alongside two other lawmakers, Senator Ireti Kingibe and Senator Tony Nwoye, later met with the protesters at the National Assembly. In the nationwide protest and strike action directed by the national bodies of labor movement in the country over hardships triggered by President Tinubu's removal of fuel subsidy, the protesters had reached the governor's office in Ilorin, the state capital, while in Katsina State they had converged on the state headquarters along Kano Road. According to the Katsina NLC chairman, Hussani, the report submitted by the various chapters of the union on the protest. High Court in Lagos has granted the suspended governor of the Central Bank, Aji Bichi. Justice Nicholas Owebo granted the order following an ex parte application moved by Emefiele's counsel, Ogonaya Sunuga, a para law firm. Recall that the court had on 25 July 2023 granted Emefiele 20 million naira bail after he was arraigned. Here, a mental expert in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital UUTH, Dr. Enobong Nkanga, has said that the current economic situation of the country and other China described depression as a mood disorder that causes persistent feeling of sadness. The government to address the economic challenges to the country to reduce the risk of mental health development.
Depression is a mood disorder themselves. The economy is very in mental health of its populace, and most people would come down with depression. People who are predisposed live with depression. So that's very high. So if you count 10 people, 3 do something about it. If we have basic health facilities, mothers can attend antenatal care, and then adverse outcomes during pregnancy can be reduced. So the child's brain is already protected in utero. The child comes out, is well fed, the mother doesn't have to work, doesn't have to worry about several sources of income, which are meager and can support her. And then provision of healthcare.
Democratic President Kais Saied has sacked Prime Minister Najib Borden the country and took control of the powers. Central Bank. And still in Africa, General Salifu Modi, one of the officers of international pressure. Modi, a former army chief of staff who had been fired in April, and a Malian security official told newsmen, but did not give further details. Niger's junta has come under pressure from the international community, while the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the military chiefs of ECOWAS member countries are. On a foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has been reportedly charged with plotting to overturn witness and conspiracy at the U.S. Capitol. Trump, age 77, who is again running for president, has denied the charges. And still on a foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the latest drone strikes on their to intervene. Zelensky noted that Russia can and must be stopped air defense units for another heroic night after the Ukrainian Air Force shut down 23 Iranian Shahed 136 and 131 drones that were aimed at Odessa. Jamaica knock out Brazil, qualify for last 16. Just stay with us. Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. On our business news, study from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) and the Financial Access Initiative Research Center of New York University has revealed that study Nigerian firms earn less than firms in the other countries, stating that half of the firms earn less than $223,250. And still in business, the outgoing Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Economic Nigeria from 2023 to 2025. He noted this at the inauguration of the Joint Planning Committee for the not sufficient to handle the issues of unemployment, poverty, and other socio-economic challenges in the country. The outgoing Chief Executive stressed the need to confront the harsh realities in the country. In health, the United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) says improved breastfeeding practices can save more than 100,000 children each year in Nigeria and moderate methods known in a statement during the commemoration of the World Breastfeeding Week in Abuja, celebrated annually from August 1st to 7th across the world. Moderate said that it could also generate an additional $21 billion for the economy over children's breast milk holds significant importance for the health and well-being of children, mothers and society at large. PHCDA and the Nigeria Solidarity Support Fund (NSSF) have signed a memorandum. F is meant to provide funding supports to conduct, strengthen, and optimize outreaches for routine immunization in 3 of the most affected states, Cross River, Kwara, and Ogun, for 6 months. Speaking to NSSF, Dr. Fejiro Nwoko noted that the 6-month pilot initiative seeks to involve the Director of Disease Control and Immunization (NPHCDA), Dr. Basio Posen, noted that both parties were excited about the collaboration, adding that it will have a positive impact on routine immunization to pay prize money directly into the players' account of the winners of in a video on social media saying the policy change is due to unpaid allowances issues involving Nigeria's Super Falcons. FIFA also increased to $60,000 in the second round of the competition. Recall that the Falcons head coach and still in sport, Jamaica knocked Brazil out of the 2023 Women's World Cup today after a 0-0. Jamaica had to set up a GoFundMe to pay for their trip to the World Cup, jointly hosted by New Zealand and Australia. On our entertainment news, Ruga is set to with his impressive debut EP, Pandemic. Ruga has emerged as one of Afrobeat's finest all-round artists, whose writing, vocals, singing, and stagemanship are at an elevated level. After touring and performing in Copenhagen, Stockholm, Rome, Brescia, Oslo, Dublin, Ireland and Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Montreal, and Edmonton, Ruga is set to kick off his North American tour with the first show in Boston. And still on entertainment, Nigerian singer-songwriter Wonder Banton has returned to that the heartfelt composition originates from his critically acclaimed and pressed 6-track EP aptly titled Wonder Shall Never End, where it takes place as the resolute third track embodying the essence of genuine affection and unwavering loyalty over the years. Wonder Banton has undoubtedly risen as an unstoppable force, garnering admiration and acclaim across Africa and Europe's musical life. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.